Today, I'm going to teach you how to build a $1 million business in 10 minutes using AI. And yes, there's hundreds of videos speaking about AI and saying you're going to make money with it. But I guarantee by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do in order to make $1 million this year. Because there's three main things that hold people back from making their first 6 and 7 figures: fear of failure, lack of clarity, and fear of the unknown. So in this video, I'm going to use AI to analyze the best business model and remove those 3 demons holding you back. Now, there's many options to choose from ever since ChatGPT was first created and released to the public. We've got Perplexity, Grok, Claude, and many others. But ChatGPT is still king and the one that I'd use, mainly because of its stored memory feature. You see, unlike the others, ChatGPT has the ability to remember what you teach it and tell it so it can be trained. Give it some context, some advice, and feedback, and before you know it, ChatGPT spits out prompts and advice that is really high level. So we'll be using ChatGPT for this video. Now, in my opinion, the AI middleman model is the best business model of this year, maybe even of this decade. And I say that because it makes me over $4 million every single year, and it's made my students multiple 6 figures, and people on this channel are seeing results with it. The AI middleman model is where you connect 2 people, so brands and influencers together, you run campaigns and take a cut. But rather than doing everything manually, you use AI to make things more efficient and easier. I want to put it to the test and see if AI actually agrees with me. If it doesn't, we'll see what it believes is the best business to get to $1 million this year. If it does, we'll ask it to give me a roadmap to make $1 million. So, the moment of truth. Okay. So it looks like our AI friend agrees that this is the best business model to start as a beginner. Influencer marketing is projected to be a $32.5 billion industry in 2025, and brands are spending tens of billions a year. That's true, but what's even better is that the industry is estimated to be worth over $100 billion in 2030. So there's a lot of money to be made. Let's look at the pros according to ChatGPT. So firstly, it says low capital is required. Well, yep, that's true, because you don't need inventory or expensive equipment to get started. All you need is a laptop and Wi-Fi, and to make things easier, a business email. But that's pretty much it. You're selling your time and your network, orchestrating deals rather than creating products. Well, that's also true. And just like ChatGPT said, there's a lot of leverage in this model thanks to AI. Rather than hiring employees or doing everything manually, a lot of it can be automated. Things like email outreach or DM outreach can be created by plugging a template into AI to save time. The overall potential profit margins are high too. You start off around, say, 20%, you can get up to 30%, even 35% once you learn to optimize things. Not only is it profitable, you can close your deals quite fast. Literally within the first 1 to 2 months, like Malihi did here. He literally watched free content on my YouTube channel and closed $6,000 worth of deals in 2 months. But of course, like everything, there are things that make this model hard, like cold pitching. It isn't easy, especially when it's a cold pitch to a brand and you've got no case studies. But you can go do work for free, offer free value, and convince people to take a bet on you. It's hard, and it's the reason everyone isn't doing this. But if it was easy, well, everyone would do it, and then it wouldn't be worth doing. So think of this as your barrier to entry, which keeps the business safe from getting saturated. The other hard thing is relationship building. This business is all about relationships with both the brands and the influencers. Since you're the connector, you need to be able to get on with both and translate what the other wants to the other party. Otherwise, this model isn't for you. But this is the skill you can learn over time. I started my current business when I was just 17 years old, and my social skills were limited to, well, high school and Fortnite. Not exactly a charismatic speaker by any means. But over time, you can hone the art of getting along with most people. The other 2 concerns, like tech and compliance, well, they don't really matter that much. The compliance is fairly straightforward, where the creators need to remember to say #ad when promoting things. And the most technical thing that you're going to end up doing is using ChatGPT to write emails. It's not rocket science whatsoever. Now, let's see what AI came up with as a plan to make $1 million this year. Then, as someone who already makes 4 times that amount every single year, I'll fact check the plan and add anything else that I believe is going to help. So, AI said that we need to pick a niche. Well, that's right, something that we understand, and that's totally right. But the USB thing isn't really necessary. In my experience, being straight to the point is necessary for this business model. It's not like the others where you're targeting small fish like me who make money online and might respond well to a USP line inspired by Hermosi. These are billion-dollar brands, sometimes trillion-dollar brands. I've worked with Microsoft and Asus and Manscaped, and trust me, they're going to think that you're a newbie they just learned what online business was yesterday if you're going to use lines like this. As for these tech tools, you don't really need most of them. The only ones needed to get started are Google Sheets to track influencers and brands, Dropbox Sign or DocuSign for contracts, and you don't actually need Stripe for payments because the big brands in this industry only really use bank transfer. I do agree with the brand assets part though. You do need a one-page website and you need a pitch deck. And Canva is okay, but in my opinion, Hostinger is even better. Hostinger is a one-stop shop for everything that you need to build a website, and it can be done entirely with AI. And literally within a few clicks, you can go from purchasing a plan to setting up a website completely with AI from as little as $3 per month. And I'm actually partnered with Hostinger. They don't sponsor me, but I'm an affiliate of Hostinger. And if you use my code in the description below, you can get 10% off a Hostinger plan. And that's who I personally use for my website and the people that I always recommend to my audience and my students in the IM Academy. Okay, so phase one looks good for the most part. You'll definitely want to recruit influencers first before talking to brands, because outreaching brands is like throwing money down the drain if you don't have value to offer. I use Instagram and YouTube search to find influencers. I've never actually used these influencer finder platforms that it says, so I can't really comment on those. But in my opinion, Instagram search is more than enough. I wouldn't say that you should specifically just target micro influencers though. Micro being anyone under, say, 10,000 followers. It's best to have a mix if possible, but you need to focus more on the 50,000 to 500,000 range. It's doable even as a beginner to get a creator with 500,000 subscribers to reply. To land brands, definitely use LinkedIn. That's where all the marketing departments are located. All of the people that you want to get in front of are on LinkedIn. A target list of 50 to 100 brands is a good starting point. I've used Crunchbase here and there, but you don't really need to bother with that. For this run and refine part, well, you can use AI to automate campaign reports, and you can use Google Sheets to track metrics on how the content is performing. The KPI targets aren't possible, but I'd say a realistic goal would be to close $10,000 worth of deals in your first 3 months. Some of that time will be spent learning on the job, and it's not easy to get a paying client. But 2 campaigns worth $5,000, closing $2,000 in profit is very doable with hard work. Plus, once you have some experience and results, getting clients becomes so much easier. And once you cross the $10,000 a month in profit mark, you can look at doing what phase 2 says, which is to automate the business more. You can definitely leverage a CRM, basically a place where you keep all of the information on any leads and customers and contacts and deals that you create. And then you can use automations to make that whole process a whole lot easier. Rather than manually doing things, you can rely on a system that won't mess up like a human. And you can definitely use AI to generate proposals. If you give it a template and leave the things that will change, like the name of the client and the influencers and the specifics like the price. AI can memorize and store that template. So every single time that you ask it to make a proposal, all you have to do is give it a few details. And even those few details can be handled by the VA in the Philippines for $5 an hour. Now, the volume of the deals that ChatGPT is talking about here are definitely doable and more realistic. A lot of the students that I've mentored have made $200,000 in revenue in 6 months, like Rayan or Aryan. Now, for phase 3, ignore this bit on influencer tiers. You can scale perfectly fine with the 50 to 500,000 follower range. Just stick to that to keep things simple. If you do get creators with a few million followers, then obviously don't turn them down. Just don't make it your focus unless a brand specifically requests them. The section on producing services is good. What you'll probably do until you cross a $500,000 mark is offer turnkey campaigns. Basically, have a selection of influencers, the brand chooses the ones that it wants, and you run the campaign and charge a set amount. But you can also have monthly retainers, where you do, say, a long-term campaign more consistently for a brand. Rather than a one-off job, you constantly add new influencers to the brand's campaign to help them grow. The more results they see, the more money they invest into more creators. And I would call this a managed service campaign. $8,000 a month is very realistic, and it's pretty average as far as the industry goes. When it comes to marketing, I wouldn't say I'd bother with any of this stuff. It probably works, but it's way more simple to just go to an event and network with the right people. Meet the creators, meet the brands, get their contact details, and connect people together. Hiring a junior account manager, well, it's optional. But if you do want to scale whilst working the bare minimum, it's probably best to just leave hiring anyone. I say that as someone who has a team of around 20 people within my business. Phase 4 seems to be pretty good. Increasing your prices and adding upsells are the best way to scale and make more money. UGC content and paid ads are both services that can be easily added onto running a campaign for a brand. UGC being user-generated content made by regular people who actually use the product. And paid ads, well, they're pretty obvious. You just take the content the creator made for the brand and turn it into an ad. If it performed as an organic content, it's more likely to perform as an ad too. This system stuff isn't really necessary when starting out. Reinvesting money into paid ads also isn't really worth it. A referral program though is insanely powerful. Once you have results for one brand, you can ask them to send other brands over. They will, because it makes them look good if your service is good. And they're only going to refer you if they're actually happy with your service. You can incentivize them by giving them discounts or commission for anyone that they bring over. A lot of my business has come thanks to referrals, and actually a client that we just signed last week came as a referral from one of my biggest clients. As for the revenue milestone, a lot of you may think is unrealistic or impossible to do. This is pretty much the path my student Arian took. I have an interview up on the channel where he literally talks about making $500,000 in a single month. And anything is possible with the right information and the will to succeed taking action. Only if you eliminate fear of failure, lack of clarity, and the fear of unknown. Because these things keep people chained to their current life, which they don't want. Fear of failure comes for lack of proof. You haven't proven to yourself that this shiny new thing that you're trying will even work. The fix is to just give it some time. After 3 months of hard work and grit, you'll have seen some results. That's going to boost your confidence and reduce that fear. Lack of clarity causes procrastination and fear of the unknown, and it comes from a lack of preparation. You need to write out exactly what your tasks are so you can see them in front of you. With a specific list on paper or on your laptop or on a project management system like ClickUp, there's absolutely no way you're going to feel confused or unsure of what to do. Then you're going to do it. So if you've got the will, you just need the information and a plan of action, well, click this video somewhere on the screen or in the description. It's a free course to teach you everything you need to know to make your first $10,000 online.